and welcome to the Bookyard. I'm Sam.
And I'm Kai.
How was your week?
Girl, it's been good. It's been a while since we've actually recorded.
Like a long while.
Like a fat minute. But guys, I'm kind of in a reading slump right now.
That's your first one this year, though. And I think if you get to September without a reading slump, that's a pretty good year.
Guys, I haven't had a reading slump ever. This is my first reading slump ever.
Yeah, since I've known you, you really haven't had like a big slump. You've had maybe like a week or two where you've been like, I'm just not feeling anything.
Yeah, but it's been a minute and I'm just kind of like, what am I supposed to do?
What was the last book you read?
Oh, it was Lights Out.
Oh, okay.
And I read When the Moon Hatched as well. I did not like that book.
Yeah, you said that. That's actually the third person I've heard that just like didn't enjoy that book.
And you know what? Here's the thing, is I got some heat from Rachel at work about it, actually. Because before we were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I got it on audio. And she was like, I really want to do an audio. It's just so high fantasy. You're going to be so confused. And I was like, actually, I do a lot better with audios and understanding intense things than reading it. Because I skim over words if I don't know how to say them. Like, I do a lot better with audios.
Okay.
And so I saw her after I finished it. And she was like, what'd you think? And I was like, and I just didn't really care. And she was like, yeah, it's because you did audio. And I was like, no,
it wasn't.
Like, I understood the book. She's like, it's just so high fantasy, it's hard to understand. And I was like, no, I understood it.
She man booked you?
Yeah, totally. And I was like, I just didn't like it. Like, I understood the plot. I wasn't confused. There were some plot holes, but like, she said that before as well. So, like, I don't really know where the issue lied, but I was like, no, like, I just really didn't like it. Like, I didn't care about the characters. And she was just like, I bet it's just because you did audio. And I was like, I'm going to drop kick you to the moon. I promise you it's not because I did audio. I just didn't like it.
Audio. Oh my gosh. No, people have the weirdest opinions, though, sometimes.
Absolutely.
Like, when you tell them which books you read physically and which books you audioed, people have the craziest opinions sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm just like, why? Like, I don't know. We talked about this actually in our Butcher and Blackbird episode that we just barely did, about how people get really weird about like which ones they'll audio and which ones they'll read. And I just don't really care.
Well, I've also had it the opposite way too, where people will be like, no, you have to do this one as an audio. Like, you have to. It's not good as a book. And I just think if you love the audio so much, but you read it and you hated it like physically, then it may just not be that great.
Yeah, a big thing with that is, do you remember when Rachel's at work were really big about listening to the audio of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder?
Yeah. No, that was one of them, and they were like, no, you can't read this book.
You have
Otherwise,
to audio.
It's not good. You have to audio it. And I was like, could it just be that it's not that good?
And it really, it did have some cool effects. It had like the little like start and stop like playing thing, but like overall, I was like, even if I read this was kind of not very good.
Well, and I totally agree that there are some books that are just really good audiobooks.
Yeah,
and there are some books that are like created to be read out loud and stuff, and that's awesome. But like, if you exclusively are like, this book is only good if you read it physically, or this book is only good if you like listen to it on audio, it might not just like not be that great.
Yeah, because she also was like, sometimes if I read really like if they're really long books, I won't do audio because like it just is too confusing and like I hate it. So that's probably what happened. And I was like, actually, my all-time favorite book, I did on audio, and it was really long. And I loved it, and I understood it fine. And she was just like, I don't know.
Okay, Rachel.
So anyway, that's been my reading endeavors. How have you been? What's new with you?
Not a ton. Honestly, I have been like a reading machine.
She has been. It's been insane.
Not like a crazy amount or anything. Like, not my record month ever, but definitely like I've been reading a lot.
Yeah, sorry. Her record month was the one before.
No, it wasn't. I think I actually read one more book this month, like in August.
Oh, really?
In July. Yeah.
Dang.
But no, I definitely have been like well over 10 books a month. And that's just like kind of a lot for me. But I also, for the first time in my life, am not like in a school program or, doing all that kind of stuff. And my husband's working a ton, and I am like really enjoying my job and everything. But like, I have like established really good boundaries, so like I have a bunch of free time, and I drive a lot because I live a long way away from my work. So anytime I'm driving, I am audioing books.
Yeah, you've been listening to a lot of good stuff though, I feel like.
I know, I've definitely read like a few really great physical copies, but I have been like loving audio recently just because of the time I have.
Yeah,
it's hard for me to physically pick up a book during the day,
for sure.
So I'm definitely loving it. I read some really great books recently, and I'm so excited to talk about a lot of them here in the next few episodes and everything.
Yeah.
Because we've read some really good books this year.
Oh,
2025 has been a great year for books.
Absolutely.
I feel like last year there were a few good releases that I was like, yeah, I really liked those. But this year, I think every few months I've had like a 5-star release and been like, this is so good. Like, genuinely, this is good.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the year, it's going to be really hard for us to choose like a top 3 or a top 5.
Oh my gosh. I can't even like imagine.
I know. I just keep thinking like, oh my gosh, there's so many good ones that I've read this year.
So many good ones.
And not all of them were released this year, but like
that we read this year.
We've read this year. Incredible. So yeah, that's pretty much all we've been doing, or / me have been doing is reading and working. That's pretty much it.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, let's get started. This week we are jumping into a series that we literally never expected to be talking about here. But oh my gosh, guys, we fell in love with it, and so we have to talk about it. So Sam, why don't you give a little background on what we're jumping into?
I'm so excited about this. I specifically made Kai do this intro because normally what happens is I do the intros and Kai does the outros and everything. But this one I was like, I'm going to have a chunk of a story to tell you at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make Kai introduce this little topic here.
Mixing it up.
So a while ago, just for some context, this story is going to be really helpful for both this episode and our next episode because it is all really related. Anyway, I can't believe it's been this long, but I did look it up on my phone before writing this in May.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
Yeah, it's been since May. Can you believe that?
It's been like 4 months.
It feels like it was yesterday, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Kai and I went on another book crawl, but we didn't really publish it because it was our first time at a lot of the bookstores, and typically we want to like go and be familiar with them and kind of see what they have before we're out there like recommending everything, just because we want to make sure that they're like places that are good and that have a good selection. Yeah. And we kind of want to know what we like about it and what we don't love about it before we tell everybody about it.
Absolutely. Well, and if you are currently, well, it's hard because like this won't be released for a while, but in September / August, we got a little bit rough with our social media. So we also, particularly me, I'm supposed to be a social media girl, and life just slipped away from us. So we also didn't post anything because of that.
Yeah. It just happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't post anything about this book crawl, but we really wanted to get the feel for them, showed everybody on social before we show everyone on our social media. And then on this particular book crawl, we went to Salt Lake. So we're typically in Utah Valley. So you guys know we love poppy books and gifts. We love the one in Midway, which is really nice. It's folklore books, and then Planted in Pages. Like those are our like big top 3 that we go to all the time here. Yeah. And I mean, obviously Midway is a little bit further outside of like Utah County, but still we're at Planted in Pages and Poppy all the time. So we went up to Salt Lake on this book crawl, and we wanted to check out a few of the very well-known bookstores up there. And we went to Lovebound Library in Salt Lake. So this is a romance bookstore, and it is really cool. Like we weren't expecting it to be one of our favorites of the day, but it really was. Like it was a great bookstore. Yeah. It is a romance only bookstore, and it's genuinely really cute. Like it has 2 sections. There's like a big main section and then another like section on the other side of the building there. So I know we've said it a lot, but before this point, like in my life, I've absolutely not been a romance girl. Yeah. Kai kind of started her reading journey with some romance and then came into other things. But I definitely have not been a romance girl. However, this year I've definitely read a lot more romance than probably any other genre, just because I found some fun series and I was like, I'm going to read all the books. So it just ended up being a lot of them. So we walked in and we definitely were really excited, because we kept seeing all of these different romance books, and we were laughing because there were so many different kinds of romance books. So we get looking around and just talking about how many subgenres that we're seeing in this shop alone. Like there are whole sections about it.
Like we saw, like, because of course in the subgenres we have like hockey and we have mafia and we have other sports. We did a baking. We saw like a baking and like archaeology And
like there were genres that we like, subgenres that we had never thought of.
No, stalker, billionaire romances. Like there was so many. So we were like, oh my gosh, we should do an episode talking about all of these subgenres. And we were like, we'll just pick a couple. We'll pick like maybe 4 or 5, and then we'll both read both of them and talk about it. But we kind of got out of hand with it.
Oh, absolutely.
We went off the rails because it was also around the time that Kindle was doing a Stuff Your Kindle Day for romance. And so we got on there, and there was the craziest stuff for free. So we just went wild. So we kind of got out of hand, and I think between the two of us, we've read like 30 to 40, I'd even say.
Yeah, no, we've read a ton.
Like it's bad.
So we decided to fully commit to this romance episode. We really wanted to go through all the subgenres and all the books we read, and then kind of just give you all the info that you could ever want, because we were convinced like there's a romance for everyone.
Yeah.
There's a subgenre for everyone. And we were super excited. So during this process, Kai lets me know that there's the Stuff Your Kindle Day and everything. And we were super excited. So we just downloaded so many things. Like we went super feral. We downloaded a ton of books to read for the subgenre episode. And I'm talking like the craziest things we could find.
Yep.
Like genuinely the craziest things we could find.
Yeah, because we were also trying to come up with like ideas to go off of it. So we were like, I'm just going to download whatever because it's free and we could do something with it.
For sure. And we'd also kind of talked about wanting to do like a romance pitch a book. So we kind of just downloaded everything we could find, each of us. And we were just like, okay, great. So one of the books that I downloaded on the Stuff Your Kindle Day was called Married to the Alien Cowboy. And I immediately was like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm going to read. And I was like, this is going to be the perfect thing to surprise Kai with for this like pitch a book, right?
Yes, yeah.
So I picked this book up, and the whole time I'm laughing to myself because it's such a ridiculous concept. I'm just like, this is so crazy.
For sure.
Then like the genuinely like craziest thing happened. I devoured this book. Like I'm not kidding you. I finished the book in an evening.
Yep.
I finished the second book the next day.
Yep.
I finished the third book the same day as the second book. I finished and in less than a week, I finished all 5 books that had been published.
Yeah.
And I pre-ordered the 6th that was going to be out a month later.
Yep.
Which was crazy.
No,
I was just like, so like, I loved it. I thought it was so crazy, but I was also still laughing at myself because I was like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But they were genuinely so fun. So I wasn't going to tell Kai at all.
Right. Well, and then we went paddleboarding.
Yep.
And we were sitting there and we were just talking about like what we've been reading, the basic like catch up. And she starts telling me like, I have this awesome book for pitch a book, but I've been loving it so much. So, like, I kind of just want to tell you. And so I was like, okay, yeah, just tell me. So she starts telling me about it. And I start like dying laughing because she's like, the characters are different colors.
Yeah.
There's what did you call it? A dicticle?
Yeah.
Like the craziest things. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I kind of laughed at her, but I was like, you know what, I'll read it. So I read, I think 2 or 3 other books, and then I finally got to it.
Yeah.
I read it. I also ate that shit up.
It was so validating though, because I was kind of like, I loved the series, but I was a little ashamed of it, obviously.
Yep.
And then finally Kai read it and she was just like, I loved it. And I was like,
yeah.
Yes.
I read all of them
I'm
in
so
a week span, I think, as well. And there were 2 days that I read 2 of them in the same day. Yeah. And I'm so excited for October 26th. That's when the next one comes out.
We're so happy.
We're so excited.
We're so excited. Okay, let me just give you some fun background, because the series that we're talking about here today is called the Cowboy Colony Mail-Order Brides series.
Oh, hell yeah, by Ursa Dax.
A mouthful, and it is so good. Mm-hmm. We have so many different things that we want to like cover about the series, because they were just like, obviously it is such a weird concept. So let me just kind of go over some background information here. Basically, obviously, the title of the first book is Married to the Alien Cowboy. So as you can kind of surmise here, a human woman, goes to a different planet and marries one of the aliens there. Yep. So some background info for the series. There is a planet called, I think it's Zabria or Zabria.
I was saying Zabria, but I don't really know either.
I don't either. Like, I definitely looked it up. I think it's Zabrian. Is the
yeah.
It could be Zabrian, but that sounds so weird to
No,
me.
I've been saying Zabrian.
That's what I've been saying.
Okay.
So Zabria Prinar 1 is the planet that everyone's going to.
Yeah.
It's actually a penal colony for the Zabrian Empire. So all the men or aliens on this planet were convicted on their home planet of murder. And I'm just gonna let Kai jump in here because she loves to clarify here.
I have to clarify with everybody that they were children when they were convicted.
Yeah.
Like, none of them were like evil men. It was all when they were little babies.
Yeah, like they were convicted of crimes when they were children. So,
and they didn't have anywhere to send them. Like, they were too young to send them off to the mines to go work, and they were too young to go send them to jail. So they were like, well, let's just send them off to this planet where they can help grow like what would be the like alien version of like calf and like raise our livestock.
They're basically ranchers.
Yeah, and then they can sell it, and then with that money that they make, they can continue to like build their lives. So that's kind of like what they do. But I just love to jump in and be like, they were children,
they're not evil. No, absolutely. So it's basically convicts who are on this planet, and then the like wardens. So this first part of the series, obviously, that we are in still, focuses on one specific warden and his convicts. And like, they're great. They basically, the craziest thing happens, and you're gonna just like laugh out loud. The Zabrian Empire decides that like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're going to start what's called a bridal program, so that the prisoners on this planet can continue to ranch and have like a semi-normal life. Why do they do this? We do not know.
No idea, but I don't care.
Sense? We don't care. It just happens, and you have to suspend some like belief here. You have to just take it as it is and then run with it, because if you go into it as just like, you're gonna love it. But yeah, basically the concept is that they are recruiting brides to come to this planet, and they are going to obviously get married. It's not like a weird situation where the brides are like, oh no, I'm married and I hate this guy and he's abusive and it's terrible and I'm stuck here. There's like, they've set it up so there's like a trial period, and you can decide whether you want to stay married, and it's kind of just like a probation period. So it's not like abusive of women, which is refreshing.
Yeah, well, like, they get to sign themselves up for it. It's not like a punishment or anything. It's totally optional. They can sign up to do it, and then they're taken, and then they have 14 days to decide if they want to stay married. And if they don't, then they can just be sent back, no questions asked. So it's a really like, I guess, the healthiest way of how this book could be written.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And that is one thing that I thought was very refreshing about Ursa Dax's writing, is that she was very considerate of, I think, the harmful tropes in romance. And I think she really steered clear of a lot of those, which I think is so nice, because they're obviously, having read so much romance in the last little bit, there are some like problematic things in a lot of the subgenres, and I've really hated them. But Ursa Dax, love you.
We love you. We actually, Sam DM'd her.
I DM'd her. It was the first author that I was like, I genuinely love her. I want to.
She follows us.
I love her. That's so exciting. Okay, so Ursa Dax is Canadian, which no wonder she's so fun.
Hell yeah.
I'm half Canadian.
Yeah.
So we're best friends already.
Canada. That's the only part I know.
So, no, she definitely steers clear of like some of the more harmful like tropes and everything, and is very considerate about the women and the FMCs in her genres.
Yeah.
So we wanted to talk a little bit about the MMCs, and before we jump into like the specific MMCs, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a background on the different couples that they have, because as we know, we have read 6 of these books now, which is genuinely incredible.
They're so good.
Number 7, we're on our way, girl.
We're on our way.
We're coming to you. We're so excited for number 7 too, because
Absolutely.
we like love the people in it already. So just also a little bit of background information. You know how some romance series, they have like that first couple, and then you meet the second couple in that series, and it goes to the third and the fourth and the fifth, but you've been presented to all the couples like prior. So fun. This is how this series is.
Love it.
So just to give you like a little bit of background, the first book, Married to the Alien Cowboy, the FMC is Cherry, and the MMC is Sylar. So I was looking actually through Ursa Dax's highlights on Instagram this morning, and I'm realizing now this is not making me sound less creepy at all. But because that's something I apparently do before our podcast.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
But I came across this post about Married to an Alien Cowboy, and it was Tori Loves _ HEAS. I don't know what that is. You know, way to be, Tori. And she's describing this whole series or this book because she went and read it, and she made this like aesthetic post about it, and I thought it was so fun.
The aesthetic post.
But she describes Sylar in this crazy way, and she says, "Convict MMC, who is literally a ding dong." And then Ursa reposts this and said, "Literally a ding dong is the exact correct description of Sylar." So I just want you to keep in mind, most of the MMCs in this series are just literally ding dongs.
They're just like sweet, precious baby angels.
They really are. I genuinely love it. I kind of want to go through all of them. So in book 1, we have Cherry and Sylar.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you have to say what color they are too, because since they're aliens, they're all colors.
Oh no, this is going to be so hard. Sylar is gold.
Yeah, he's like a gold.
Okay, then we have Darcy and Fallon.
Yes, and Fallon is like a reddish orange.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Magnolia and Garrick.
Garrick is blue.
Tasha and Ten.
Ten is purple.
Jaya and Oaken.
Oaken is green.
Ah, I knew that. And then Jolene and Zorro.
And Zorro is a bubblegum pink.
Bubblegum pink. He's like bright. He's fuchsia.
Yes.
So obviously all of these very fun aliens are different colors, and it's kind of cute. Like, it's kind of fun. They're all just like their own little person and their own little fun personality.
Yeah.
So they're very tall.
Mm-hmm.
They are shaped like a person, which is great.
But they're super
the
muscly.
Context of a romance. They have very long tails that they kind of use as like other hands.
Yeah, like Avatar.
Like they can grab things and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they are super muscular. They typically have colorful like skin and hair.
Mm-hmm.
So like they have different like colors of hair and skin and everything, which is great.
Yeah.
But they all kind of have their own little stories, which is so nice.
Oh, yes. I did want to mention about physical characteristics as well. They have eyes that glow when they're feeling any sort of like intense emotion.
They glow like bright white.
Like laser eyes.
You can see them in the dark. Which it was actually listed, like it was in a few of the books where someone would be like, "Ah, what is that?" So I'm really like gonna screw up this pronunciation. So Ursa, if you're listening to this,
Ursa, we're sorry.
Zabria, the planet, basically as part of their culture, they are very like disciplined, and they really try to keep their emotions under control. So this glowing white bright set of eyes is basically an indication that you are like not a very good dude.
Yeah, you're out of control. You can't control your emotions.
You can't control your emotions. But it actually becomes this very like sweet and tender thing that happens because you kind of get the idea before the women do what the men are feeling, because the women don't know that that's something that's happening. But after the first book, you already have that context.
Right. Well, and the point of view switches between the FMC and the MMC.
And it's so cute.
And, you know, like Sam was kind of saying, like, everybody's building context off of only what's happening in their book, but we have the whole thing. So, like, something happens and we're like, oh my gosh, it's this. And then, so like, cute. 100 pages later, it's like, it was this. And we're like, yeah, we know.
So I wanted to go through a little bit of the couples and everything. So Cherry and Sylar were our first introduction, and I really think they were a very cute couple. And so Cherry basically is on the run. Like, she gets in on some problems back on her like human settlement or whatever, and owes this like very bad person money.
Yeah.
And she signs up for the bride program as kind of like a last resort, and she's like, I have to get out of here, dude. They didn't tell anyone in this first batch of brides that they were being sent to a penal colony. So this first batch of people didn't know that they were going to marry convicts.
Right.
So she shows up, she figures that out, and she actually like hops onto a spaceship and like gets to the planet before any of the other brides because she's so worried about being found.
Right.
So she gets there, marries Sylar. And Sylar, I think they called him Silent Sylar.
Yeah, he
like,
never says anything.
He's just like a brooding, silent, whatever. Like he wasn't like grumpy.
No, he was just quiet.
He was just quiet.
Shy little man.
But he actually was so cute. But obviously this is full of spoilers and everything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you the end.
Oh, okay.
But it's amazing. He defends her. Like, there's definitely a moment in all of these books, and it kind of connects them, where like the MMC shows that he is like the right person for her, right?
Yeah.
And Sylar absolutely does that. He's very protective of Cherry, makes sure that she's taken care of. And it's so fun to watch them struggle with each other's cultures. I will say, after reading a few other like alien romances after this, something that I think it was also very refreshing about this series is that they had translators that were automatically working. So there wasn't like a ton of linguistic barriers.
Yes.
There were a few like words that didn't translate very well that had to be like addressed in the series, but they weren't like struggling to talk. Like they could communicate.
The biggest thing is like phrases that we use in like English that just don't convert over. I'm trying to think of like a phrase.
There was one that Fallon used a few times incorrectly, and I thought it was the cutest thing ever. There were like very small misunderstanding ones that I thought were so cute.
Yeah, like if, for example, if you were...
wait, I think one of them was, oh snap. I think one of them said that. I can't remember when or in what context, but
like,
it was really funny.
It's just like things like that where they just didn't understand, so they'd like snap. And they'd be like, what? That's what you told me to do.
Yeah, you said that. But the cultural misunderstandings, I think, were some of the funnest parts of this series.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything you want to add about Cherry and Sylar's story?
I don't think so. I liked them. I thought they were nice. A good intro.
Yeah, I really loved their intro book. I really thought it set us up for success with the other characters.
For sure.
I think the characters in the other books I liked better.
But
it was probably because I didn't have a ton of time to get to know like Cherry and Sylar, because we were getting to know the whole world, which is great.
Yeah. A small thing I do want to add about all of them is none of these men have seen a woman, let alone a human woman,
since they were
like 8 years old.
Yeah.
So like they see them and instant boner.
They absolutely love them. They're just like, yeah,
she's hot.
And the funnest part of this, which we didn't talk about at the beginning, was that the warden comes to these convicts and is like, hey boys, they want to start a bridal program. And a bunch of them are like, yes, we're in, we're doing it. And then Zorro is like, no, I'm not doing that. That's crazy.
That's stupid.
Until he sees all the women who like show up and they're all happy and everything. And then he's like, what the?
I want a wife.
I want a wife.
Yeah.
So it's very fun.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Next couple.
Yes. So in book 2, we have Darcy and Fallon.
Mm-hmm.
They're really cute.
Yeah. Darcy, I feel like, has the most personality that we see throughout the continued books, because eventually they have like a group chat, and so you get to like see what they all say, and Darcy's always like the craziest unhinged one. Yeah,
Darcy definitely is like very feisty. She has like bubblegum pink hair.
Yes.
That they specifically say is the color of Zorro's skin. But Darcy is kind of running away from her family as well. Like on I don't know that it was necessarily Earth, because I can't remember which settlement each one Earth, comes from. Yeah. But Darcy's family is like pretty wealthy, and I think she's running away from like her terrible mom. She was supposed to be engaged and married to another person. Yeah. And he was really abusive and terrible. So she gets to sign up and she marries Fallon, who actually he's genuinely very adorable. Like he was so excited. He was one of the boys who was like immediately yes, like I'm excited, and he like wanted to learn everything about human women. Yeah, where like Sylar really didn't read any of the like prep material. Fallon read the material like 100,000 times. They did give them like prep material, and one of my favorite parts of this series is when they later go over to another warden's like convicts. Yeah. Because obviously the series could go on for forever and I would read a million of them. But I would too. They go over to a new area of convicts to interview them and like get them prepared to see if they are going to be fit to be husbands. Yeah. And they go over and they're all in like these little tuxedos and like they've been like studying. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Well, they use this prep book that Tasha actually wrote. So Tasha is the coordinator of the bridal program. Yeah. Back on a human settlement, right? And she writes all of this information about human women for these men. And there are so many fun things about this like book. Specifically, Fallon like reads the part about sex like 50,000 times, I think, and he like just draws a picture. He draws a picture of it because he's trying to understand it. He like colors the skin his skin color. It's so funny. Like they are just the most precious people, and they're trying so hard to like be good husbands. And I think it's so funny. So in the first book, they are like, yeah, typically, like, I think they're introduced to like, at your wedding, you wear pretty formal attire. You do the kiss ceremony, which
but they didn't know what a kiss was
because they don't kiss in their culture. And so then, like, you know, all the other guys find out what a kiss is, and they're like, "Is now when we do the kiss thing? Like, are we doing the ceremony, the kiss ceremony?" And everyone's just like, "Yeah."
They just don't understand it. It was so funny,
so funny. After Darcy and Fallon, we get Magnolia and Garrick. So Cherry, Darcy, and Magnolia were the original 3 brides who signed up for this program.
Yes.
And they only had 3 to start with, but Magnolia signs up and is actually assigned to marry a different one of the, like, aliens.
Yeah.
She ends up, obviously this is a huge spoiler, and I should have like said that at the beginning, and I'll put it in the
No, it's not a huge spoiler because the color of the alien on the front cover is the one she's married to.
You know.
Yeah.
Like the second they're like, "Hey, you're going with Garrick," I was like, "Yay!"
Yay!
So Garrick is one of the ones who originally says that he doesn't want a wife. Specifically because he is fostering another convict. Like, he is pretty trusted on the like penal colony, and the warden really trusts him, and they actually send him like a child who was convicted of murder, and he's kind of like his dad, like he's fostering him.
Yeah.
So what happens is Magnolia is assigned to Oaken. Actually, Oaken was another one who was like, "Yes, I'm really interested, I want to be married immediately." Garrick and Oaken are cousins, and Oaken lives very far away from the warden and up kind of in the mountains.
Yeah.
So he actually gets injured on his way and
poor buddy
isn't able to make it to meet his bride. So Garrick and his foster are assigned to take Magnolia to Oaken.
Yes.
And hopefully make sure that he's okay, because as far as they know, they don't really have a ton of communication like devices or anything that work very well.
Yeah.
Especially up at Oaken's house. They're hoping he's like alive and well, but they're on their way to go like deliver his bride, right?
Right.
But Magnolia falls in love with Garrick.
And it's like this really sweet moment where Magnolia has a reaction to something, and she's like about to, like, she's dying.
Yeah.
And they finally make it to Oaken, and Oaken's like, "How can I help save your bride?" And he like doesn't even know that it's supposed to be his bride.
Because they're so in love.
But they never like acted on anything before they talked to Oaken, which I really appreciated. I appreciated their respect. And once like they talked to Oaken, he was just like, "No, like, I want you guys to be happy. I obviously don't want to come in between you." It was just so sweet.
It was genuinely gorgeous. Like, I loved it. I loved their maturity. Specifically book 3, I was like, "Guys, you killed it."
Yeah.
Ursa, you killed it. Because genuinely when that happens, and generally when that happens in like different series, you get this huge miscommunication moment, and they either don't accept that they're in love with someone until they're with the person they're actually like assigned to at the beginning, and then there's like this big moment of just like having like problems or they're upset or anything. But Magnolia and Garrick really don't ever get to that point because they're both fairly mature, and they both like address it with each other.
Right.
And they both say like, "Hey, I am not going to be able to do this. Like, I'm not in love with this person. I'm obviously in love with you."
Yeah.
And it's really cute because it's also like they have a built-in family because they have their cute foster son, which is so fun.
It's so adorable.
Then we get Tasha and Ten, which is the warden.
Yes.
It's so fun. So after these first 3 get married, they're all happily married and everything. Tasha, who is in charge, like I said, of the bridal program, comes back and, you know, is on a video call with them. And they all tell her like, "Hey, we actually didn't know that this is a penal colony."
And she's like, "What?"
And she's like, "This is a what?"
Yeah.
And she is furious because the Zabrian Empire did not tell her that this was a penal colony, and she's just sent up these poor women to go marry convicts. So Tasha is like freaked out, obviously, because she's a good person. So she herself flies up to Zabria Prinar 1, and she is going to do a crazy inspection and make sure these women aren't being abused, which I thought was so funny in her book. Book 4 with Tasha and Ten, she's up there and she is constantly getting the women alone and is like, "Is he hurting you?"
And they have such good hearing that they're like, "What are you guys doing?" And like they can hear them talking.
But she keeps like, doesn't know.
She keeps like pulling them into closets and being like, "Is everything going okay?
Are you being abused?"
And like on the outside, they're like, "Why are you guys in closets?" And Tasha's like, "Ah!"
It's so so funny. Like, it's refreshing. Every single book is different, which I thought was so fun. Obviously, it gets a little formulaic, and I loved every second
the formula.
of it. It could go on, and I would still read it.
Absolutely.
But anyway, Tasha ends up falling in love with the warden, which is so cute, and they're so cute together.
Yeah.
And then afterwards is Jaya and Oaken.
Yes.
They're really cute, and Jaya actually ends up on the planet by accident.
Yeah, she was a solo traveler. She had a little like robot with her, but she would fly around and go explore, and she actually crashed because she needed a new part
On her spaceship.
On her little spaceship. So she landed and then was waiting for her new part, and then in that time they fall in love.
And it was really cute. Their book was really cute because Oaken really wanted to get married. He was the one that was going to marry Magnolia, and like he really doesn't ever voice that like hurt to Magnolia or to Garrick because he loves them both and wants to be in their family and everything. But he definitely is feeling sad because he doesn't know if the bridal program is going to continue. He doesn't know if someone will accept him because he's worried that they're going to show up and they're going to say Oaken was actually rejected once and, you know, whatever.
Yeah, and in order for Jaya?
I think it's Jaya. I'm not sure though.
Jaya, we'll go Jaya. So in order for Jaya to stay on the planet to be able to get her part, she has to become one of these brides in a trial period so she can stay for the 14 days for her part. But Oaken is like, I will do it. And she's like, no. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. But everybody's like, Oaken, what are you doing? Because then at that point you have 2 failed marriages and they have to disclose that if you have a new bride coming in.
Yep. So they'd have to be like, hey, here are your options. This is so-and-so. This is so-and-so. This is Oaken. He's been trial perioded twice.
Yeah.
And been rejected twice. So he definitely took it upon himself to be like, no, I want to do this. Like, I will do this. And it was like a very selfless act for him. But he genuinely loved her and it was great.
It was adorable.
Then book 6, we have Jolene and Zorro. And they were so cute.
I didn't think I was going to like this one as much because Jolene is actually pregnant. And Sam gave me a little heads up about some like weird breastfeeding possible situation.
Because it wasn't as crazy as
I'm just really, really, really sensitive when it comes to breastfeeding. It creeps me out. I know that's so like sad because like it's just a part of life, but like I can't. It just creeps me.
Yeah, I figured I'd give her a little warning, but no, Jolene and Zorro's book was actually really fun because Zorro was the guy who was definitely like adamant that he did not want to get married. And then he kind of saw all of his like convict friends and they were all happy and he saw like the human women and he's like, I love them. And he just wanted to get married. Yeah. But he definitely was like the grumpier of them. And he's like none of them I thought really represented like a very grumpy person. No. But he definitely was the hardest like individual, I think, at the beginning. Yeah. But Jolene straight up paid some guy with a spaceship to just take her to the planet with absolutely no context. So she had absolutely no idea who this like guy was, who the planet was. She was like distantly related to, I believe, Magnolia.
She went to a bar a lot and the guy there was Magnolia's cousin. Yeah. And so she had a picture hung up of Magnolia and she was like, oh, who is this? And he told her about the bride program and she was like, where is it? And then just like straight up left.
Because she got pregnant and then her dad kicked her out. Yeah. And so she shows up in a field, in Zorro's field, which is amazing. And he's like, oh, how did one of these other guys lose their like wife? That's so crazy. That's so irresponsible. I would never do that. And then he finds out that she's not married and he was like, yeah, I love her. So that's kind of where we're at. We already know who the MMC is for book 7 and we're so excited about it. I'm so excited. I'm not going to spoil that for you because it's not even out. Yeah. And go read all 6 of these. You can do this in 3 days.
We did it. You can do it too.
In 3 days. You can do it in 3 days. Easy. What are your final thoughts about this series? I know it was really kind of jumbled and we kind of went all over the place, but what were your thoughts?
My final thoughts are sorry for being all over the place. We love this series so much that we could talk about it for genuinely like hours, but I loved it. I told everyone and their dog about it. I was like, my friend, but Sam was like, you stole my series.
You stole my favorite series.
Because I told everyone about it. And
she's like, my book club's going to read it. And I was like, how could you?
My mom's going to read it. And she's like, how dare you? So I really did love it. My favorite things were just the miscommunications. Specifically, none of the guys can say clitoris.
That was so fun.
Like none of them.
They also can't say pajamas. There were a few times where they were like, pajama mamas.
Especially
Yeah.
10. He cannot say pajamas.
There are just a few words that they cannot say. And it's so funny because you catch on really fast. And then you're in book 6 and you see a word like, yum, 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 and you're like, they're trying to say pajamas. But no one else knows that.
I love them so much. I cannot recommend them enough. But what were
Yeah.
your closing thoughts?
I love this series. Like I said at the beginning, I definitely was like, what is this? Like, this is
Yeah.
a little crazy.
Yeah.
Concept, I was like, this is just like not something I would pick up and like want to read earnestly. It was something I definitely was like, I'm gonna pick this up as a joke, which I have found that I do that a lot with books, as I pick up a lot of books as a joke.
You totally do.
I think it's so fun, but I loved that I got to read this series. I definitely had a lot of thoughts about it, and I think it's funny that I had this many thoughts about a series that was just so silly.
It was so silly. All of the
really
books
was silly.
are like around 200 pages too. So it's not like they're like, gonna spend a honking time on them, you know?
Yeah, it's so refreshing. But it definitely like made me think a lot about the romance genre in general.
Yeah.
Because I was in the middle of this whole romance like section of reading a ton of things. And I was just stuck thinking throughout this series that women get so much crap from people about reading romance as a genre.
Yeah.
Specifically people and men, a lot of men in like my life have openly said like, well, women love to read just porn. Like,
and it's
straight
like,
up porn.
ugh.
I thought that the series was so fun, and obviously there's some like sex scenes, but the funnest part of the series for me was just seeing how much these women really just wanted someone who like paid attention to them and
treat them well.
like saw them as a human being, like saw who they were and really just took care of them as a person.
Yeah.
And I loved that these alien men were able to come in with that perspective and just be like, yeah, I literally just want to get to know you as a person.
Yeah.
And love you in a way that like is good for you.
Yeah.
Which I thought was amazing.
They were really great.
There were so many fun parts. I also loved all the miscommunications. One of my favorite ones, and I can't remember if it was Fallon or if it was Sylar. It was the hypothermia moment. Do you remember which one of those it was?
I think it was Sylar.
It might have been the first book.
No, I'm sorry. It was Fallon.
It was Fallon, right?
Yes, because
Darcy.
Yep. Sorry.
Darcy, I can't remember what it was, but I think she got into like some cold water or something.
She was trying to save his dog or like dog type thing.
It was a river, right?
Yeah.
Like his animal that isn't a dog, but reminded her of a dog. And she gets really cold and everything and like gets hypothermia basically, but she doesn't actually get hypothermia. She's just really cold.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the specifics of it, but he starts like rubbing her all over, like, and specifically like her boobs. And Sylar had warned him about hypothermia, and Fallon was like concerned that Darcy was dying. So
and
she was
gonna
just
lose
like,
her
oh my
udders.
gosh, she's gonna lose like her udders. Like he was just freaking out. And he was like trying to warm her up. And she was just like, I have absolutely no idea what the hell is going on. And he was like, hypothermia! Like he was just so fun.
But he like didn't know how to pronounce hypothermia.
No, it was so fun. I had a blast with this series.
I did too.
I think that it is so worth your time.
I really would agree. Closing question for you.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite couple?
I think throughout, Magnolia and Garrick were definitely like my favorite, but I enjoyed Jolene and Zorro so much, which is so weird. I didn't expect to.
Oh my gosh.
So I really loved them. I also love Tasha and Ten because they're definitely like my type of people for sure. But I feel like Magnolia and Garrick's story was so sweet.
Then that's my favorite story too.
That was your favorite?
That's my favorite.
I knew it would be. And the foster son, so cute.
So cute.
Genuinely so
Found
cute.
family.
Magnolia was so sweet.
Yeah.
Genuinely so sweet. Also, if you pay attention, Ursa Dax has done all of her own covers.
Yeah,
which
she's
I think
amazing.
is so fun. There's no like dumb generative AI covers here, which way to be, girl. She illustrates her own covers, which are really fun and really colorful, and I loved it.
Yeah. Really awesome. You guys have to read.
Please read this book. It's so fun. We're probably going to mention it a few times in the next episode too, because it's our romance subgenre episode.
Okay, next week, like we talked about in this episode, we're jumping into our subgenres of romance.
Ooh, that was really fun.
I was trying to like serenade the crowd, because like romance.
Yeah.
I had to get the vibes going. But so please come back next week while we cover all things romance. We're excited to do it. If you liked today's episode, you are in luck. We post every Monday. And if you're looking to get your fix throughout the week, if we're being good, we post every day on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at The Bookyard Pod. See you guys next week.
Bye.